Chosen One, stop everything you're doing right now. I need your full attention because this is not something for everyone. This is a direct transmission about something that happened in higher dimensions that involves you specifically, and I already know the first reaction in your mind will be doubt. You'll want to label this as generic, as coincidence, as content. But before you decide that, hear this one truth. If these words arrived in your life at this exact moment, it's because your own transformed soul guided you here to receive confirmation of something you've been sensing but couldn't explain. God is impressed with you, not in a poetic way, not to flatter you, not to make you feel special. I'm revealing what is being observed and discussed in superior realms. Something about your evolution, the person you've become against pressure that should have broken you, caught divine attention in a way that rarely happens. Understand what that means. God witnesses billions of souls every second. He sees the whole human journey at once. Nothing surprises him because he knows the end from the beginning. But there is a difference between knowing what will happen and being moved by how it happens, by how a soul becomes what it becomes. And what moved him wasn't your outer life, not your position, not your bank account, not the image people see. It was the internal metamorphosis you lived through when nobody applauded, the private wars nobody will ever know about, the moments you kept going when everything inside you was screaming to quit. That is what caught God's attention. So yes, subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to stay close to this kind of message, because what I'm about to reveal about the exact point your evolution triggered divine recognition will change how you see your entire story. Stay to the end, because you're going to see what you did that made even celestial beings pause to observe. Why your transformation activated recognition that is now moving toward your physical life, and what God is preparing to release in response to the person you chose to become. And if you know you went through a transformation nobody around you truly understood, write 777 in the comments. Now let me take you to a scene that occurred in heavenly dimensions. Not metaphor, not symbolism. A real event in realms your eyes can't access, but your spirit has always known are real. There is a moment in every chosen one's life that gets recorded in what ancients called the Book of Life. Not a simple list of good and bad deeds, but a complete registry of the soul's journey. Every decision, every turning point, every evolution, every time you grew beyond what you used to be. Your book has been written since before you were born. Every chapter documents a phase of your becoming. Every page holds battles you fought, lessons you learned, transformations you survived. And recently, something happened that caused your book to be flagged for special attention because there are specific angels assigned to monitor transformations that exceed normal parameters. Most people move in predictable cycles. They grow a little, stagnate, regress, repeat. Pain makes them smaller. Pressure makes them bitter. Loss makes them shut down. Very few lives register as an anomaly in cosmic terms. But you broke the pattern during a season that should have destroyed you. You evolved in circumstances that break most humans. You became stronger in conditions that usually produce resentment. You developed compassion where most develop coldness. You built wisdom where most build walls. That anomaly triggered a spiritual alert. Your file was pulled for review by higher-ranking entities, and when they traced your transformation step by step, they did something unusual. They brought it to God's direct attention. Not because you were in trouble, not because you needed emergency intervention, but because what you accomplished was worthy of being witnessed by the Creator himself. Here's what most people don't understand about divine observation. Yes, God sees everything, but there is a difference between omniscient awareness and focused attention. You're aware of countless things around you every day, but your attention locks onto what matters. God's focused attention is reserved for moments of genuine significance, and your transformation earned that focus. When God turned his direct gaze toward your evolution, not just what you became, but the path you walked to become it, something happened that angels present rarely witness. He was pleased in a way that went beyond ordinary approval. God isn't easily impressed. He created galaxies with a word. He designed complexity so vast human minds can barely touch its edges. He has witnessed every heroic act, every sacrifice, every transformation across history. Yet there is something about authentic change forged in fire that moves even the heart of the infinite. And that is exactly what you demonstrated. It would have been easy for you to become bitter. After what you endured, nobody could have blamed you. Betrayals, disappointments, seasons where life seemed determined to break you. Any of it could justify closing your heart forever. But you didn't close it. You felt the pain fully. You didn't deny it or numb it. You allowed yourself to carry the weight of every hurt, every shattered expectation. Then you did what most humans never do. You transformed that pain into fuel. Your wounds became wisdom. Your betrayals became discernment. Your failures became steps instead of labels. That is spiritual alchemy in its purest form, taking the lead of suffering and turning it into the gold of understanding. And you didn't do it through tricks or methods. You did it through raw, repeated choice, refusing to let your circumstances decide your identity. God watched you make that choice again and again. Every time life knocked you down, heaven watched to see what you would become. And every time you rose, you didn't rise as the same person. You rose better. That consistency is what impressed him. Now listen carefully, because there was a night you might not even remember consciously, but heaven remembers perfectly. A night when you were alone in the deepest way, maybe surrounded by people yet spiritually isolated, carrying something that felt impossible. The weight on your shoulders felt unbearable, and there was nobody you could turn to who could truly understand. In that darkness you had choices. Surrender to despair, let bitterness take root, decide the universe was against you and resistance was pointless. But instead, you found a spark, not from motivation, not from someone's words, not from external hope. You found it inside yourself, in the place where your spirit touches something greater. And you used that spark to take the next step. That moment was annotated in your book of life, because finding light when there is no external light is proof of a connection with divine essence that most humans never access. You tapped into something eternal that night, beyond feelings, beyond evidence, beyond what can be seen or held. You used it not to perform grand feats, but to simply keep moving when movement felt impossible. Heaven noticed, and here's what might startle you: your transformation didn't only impress God, it created ripples that are still expanding. In spiritual reality, true evolution never happens in isolation. When one soul evolves against extreme odds, it forms a template, an energetic pathway that makes it slightly easier for other souls facing similar darkness. Your evolution made the universe more hospitable for transformation. That is why chosen ones matter, not because they're superior, but because they pioneer. They cut trails through impossible terrain so others can follow. Every time a chosen one turns darkness into light, collective possibility expands, and God is moved by this because it aligns with his deepest intention for creation, that beings would choose growth through free will, not through force. You exercised that free will when stagnation would have been easier. You chose to become better when becoming bitter would have been justified. That choice echoed through dimensions. Think back. Have you had a moment recently when you felt inexplicably lighter, like a burden you carried for years suddenly loosened? Have you felt a perspective shift happen without struggle, and you found yourself able to release something that used to trap you? That wasn't random. That was the beginning of heaven's response. When God is impressed by someone's evolution, He doesn't just observe. He begins orchestrating support. Doors start opening. People appear at the right time. Opportunities align. Not because you performed perfectly, but because your transformation proved you would use what you received to keep evolving into the fullest expression of who you were created to be. God invests in those who prove they are committed to growth, and you proved it for years by refusing to let circumstances win. Right now, something is in process. Something is being arranged in spiritual dimensions that will manifest in your physical reality in ways you do not expect. God has assigned specialists to your case, not the guardians who have always been near you, but angels called in when a soul crosses certain thresholds. Their purpose is to bridge internal evolution with external manifestation, to ensure your inner transformation is reflected in your outer life. This does not mean you'll win the lottery tomorrow. Divine manifestation doesn't work like that. It means alignments are being created, connections are being prepared, circumstances are being rearranged so opportunities appear that match the person you have become, not the person you used to be. This is crucial. Many pray for blessings they cannot hold. They ask for doors they are not ready to walk through. And God, in wisdom, withholds not out of cruelty but out of love. But you built capacity, you developed strength, you trained your spirit through years of choosing growth over comfort, evolution over stagnation. Now, the outer world is beginning to match the inner world. Look closely at your life. Have you noticed small shifts that seem insignificant alone but form a pattern together? Conversations that plant seeds, ideas arriving from nowhere, random encounters that feel meaningful. They are not coincidences. They are early movements of orchestration. God is not only impressed with who you became, He is actively participating in who you are becoming. This is the part most people miss. They think divine approval is the finish line. They think recognition is the goal. But recognition is the beginning. When God is impressed by a soul's evolution, He enters partnership with that soul's continued growth, not as a distant observer, but as an engaged collaborator. The same creative force that spoke galaxies into existence begins shaping your reality with you. This partnership isn't always comfortable. Growth rarely is, but it is always purposeful. The challenges ahead are not punishment. They are curriculum designed specifically for your next level, and what makes you different is this. You've already proven you can handle the curriculum. You've shown you will choose transformation no matter the pressure, and that track record is why more is being entrusted. You've been waiting for something. Even if you couldn't name it, you felt it. That all this pain, all this growth, all this preparation was leading somewhere. You're right. But it isn't leading to a simple destination, it's leading to an expansion of capacity so wide your current self can barely imagine it. God isn't preparing a reward. He's preparing you for assignment, for impact that requires the exact combination of strengths your unique journey forged. The wounds you healed, the challenges you overcame, the wisdom you earned the hard way, all of it formed a key only you carry. There are people you will reach that no one else can. Not because you're better, but because your journey gave you access points that only you possess. The pain you transformed gives you credibility with people still bleeding. The darkness you navigated gives you the ability to guide others through their own night. This is your purpose beginning to activate, not as a distant spiritual idea, but as practical reality unfolding soon. You will recognize it because opportunities will appear that feel tailored to who you truly are, not who you pretend to be, not who you think you should be, but who you became through fire. There's an ancient concept of souls who volunteer for difficult incarnations, not because they have karma to pay, but because they want to develop strength that only challenge can create. These souls choose hard lives intentionally because the difficulty is the training ground. You are one of them. Your life wasn't hard because you did something wrong. It wasn't difficult because the universe was punishing you. It was intense because you chose a curriculum that would forge specific capacities needed for your purpose, and you passed, not by avoiding the challenges, but by meeting them and being transformed. God is impressed because He knows what you volunteered for before you were born. He knows what you agreed to face, and He has watched you fulfill that agreement with resilience that honors your original courage. You didn't choose pain for pain's sake. You chose the growth it could produce. And instead of being crushed, you were forged. That took spiritual courage. The willingness to keep becoming even when becoming hurts. The commitment to stay open when closing down would be easier. The determination to transform when stagnation would be comfortable. And now you're beginning to see why. Your transformation wasn't only for you. It was preparation for service. Not service that depletes you, but service that fulfills you. Not sacrifice that diminishes, but contribution that expands. This is the shift. From transformation as survival to transformation as impact. You will not have to force help. Your presence will be help. Your story will be medicine. Your energy will catalyze change in others. This is what it means to be chosen. Not selected for privilege, but prepared for purpose. Not elevated above humanity, but equipped to lift humanity. God is impressed because you didn't resist the forging. You didn't run from the fire. You didn't demand answers before you were willing to endure. You trusted the process even when it hurt. You kept moving even when you couldn't see where you were going. You maintained faith even when faith looked foolish. And that kind of trust moves God more than grand gestures ever could. Now here is what happens next. The recognition you received in spiritual dimensions is about to manifest in physical reality, not as dramatic supernatural spectacle, but as a sequence of alignments that will feel like life finally cooperating with who you've become. Relationships that serve your growth will deepen. Relationships that hinder it will dissolve naturally. You won't have to force either. The frequency you carry will attract what matches and repel what doesn't. Resources will begin flowing in consistent, timely ways, confirming support for your purpose. You will notice that what you need appears when you need it, sometimes through paths you could never have orchestrated. Clarity will increase. The fog around purpose will lift, not all at once but step by step, with precision. And most importantly, you will feel peace that does not depend on circumstances, a deep stability even when the outside world is turbulent. This is the signature of a soul whose identity is no longer dependent on validation. This is what God delivers in response to transformation. Not stuff, but alignment. Not rewards, but partnership. Not things, but a life that finally matches the person you have become. And as we come toward the end of this revelation, remember this. None of this means you're better than anyone. It means you were faithful to your own journey. You didn't compete with others. You competed with who you were yesterday. You committed to being better, and that commitment sustained over time is what created the transformation that impressed God. Not talent, not luck, not birth circumstances. Commitment. That's why your journey matters. Because anyone can choose transformation. Anyone can commit to growth. Your life proves it's possible, and in proving it, you became a beacon for others still in the fire. People will be encouraged by your story directly or simply by the energy you carry. They'll feel hope because you are evidence the process works. You don't have to preach. Your life will speak. Your presence will testify. Your transformation will inspire. And God will continue to be impressed because transformation is not a destination you reached. It's a way of being you adopted. You became someone who transforms. Evolution became natural to you. The real achievement isn't only who you are now, but who you're committed to becoming. God sees your trajectory, and what he sees ahead impresses him as much as what you've already survived. You're not finished. You're just getting started. The person you'll be in 1 year will make today's version look limited. In 5 years, you'll carry capacities you can't imagine right now. By the end of your life, you will have evolved so far that comparison to this moment will barely make sense. And at every stage, God will be watching, not judging, admiring, not condemning, celebrating, not distant, but intimately engaged with your unfolding. This is the relationship available to you. Not religion. Relationship, not rules. Connection, not performance. Partnership. You didn't earn divine love. Love was always there. But transformation made you capable of receiving it. The walls that blocked intimacy were broken down by your own growth. That is what it truly means to impress God. Not to make him love you more, but to become able to hold what was already being offered. So if this confirmed what you felt but couldn't put into words, if it explained why your journey has felt different, if it gave language to the sense of divine recognition stirring inside you, then stay connected, because more is coming. Share this with someone who has been forged too, because souls in the fire need to recognize each other. Write 777 in the comments if you know your transformation has cosmic significance and you are ready to continue evolving in partnership with divine attention. And before you go, click the next video on your screen, because what happens when a chosen one's transformation begins manifesting alignment will confirm everything heaven has been preparing behind the scenes. Together, we are stronger.